Not so loud! That creature in the next chamber is a tricky one. You must be my new apprentice. Well, let's start the lesson, shall we? Can you smell it? The dust of ancient elves permeates the very air of this old tomb. Ooh, that's a good phrase. I must remember it for my next book. But tell me, what brings you to this lonely place? Assistant? Oh, you mean that young Nord woman who's been hanging about? Very kind of her. But Narcissus Dren doesn't need to be coddled. I'm in the middle of a very important undertaking. There's more to this old tomb than meets the eye. She did she? Probably told you she found it? Well, I had to translate it, and from the ancient Elven, no less. Difficult, even for me. Before I could begin my investigation, however, that creature over there appeared to harass me. According to an old scroll I discovered, this tomb was built atop two older structures. Imagine secret chambers that haven't been opened in centuries. And the family died out ages ago. No one to contest my findings, except that creature over there. It's a sneaky one. Silent as a tomb and twice as deadly. Even its shadow is terrifying. But it won't get the jump on Narcissus Drin. Slip into the chamber and see what its intentions are. I'll wait here, poised to leap to your aid as necessary. I knew there was nothing to worry about. Now lead on, my stalwart companion. This tomb won't explore itself. This isn't what I expected. It's rather small. This isn't right. Where's the treasure vault? The hidden chambers? This tomb deeply disappoints Narcissus Drin. Something more interesting than a boring burial chamber. This ancient scroll indicates that if you honor the ancestors, they reveal... I can't quite make out this word. I'm having a hard time translating some of these old idioms. Are you questioning my expertise? Ancient Elven is like a second language to me, and scholars across Tamriel revere my ability to make sense of historic gibberish. Still, I could check my notes again, just to be sure. Let me see. This squiggle means tomb. Oh, wait! That's V, not D. Veloth tomb. Ooh, what's this button do? Deal with that, will you? Then talk to Elfbet outside!
Narcissus shot out of that tomb so fast. Just like that time my sister laughed so hard and mead spurted out her nose. Narcissus was so excited he went to find a mage to open a portal. Told us to meet him there. Wolfrey, pack up. We need to move. He did, and he told me to tell you. But why he needs your help when he has me, well, it's just beyond my comprehension. Narcissus said that he found new information. He said that the scroll was not about Drelath tomb. It pointed toward Veloth tomb. You better get moving if you're going to help my Narcissus. Veloth tomb is on the west coast, just south of Nisus. Wolfrey can make his own way, just like you. He's reliable like that. Me? I might hire a mage. Portals are so much nicer than walking.
Another tomb? And clear on the other side of Vardenfell? Oh, this sounds dangerous to me. But Narcissus Drain is the famous adventurer and all. I'm just here to haul around his very heavy possessions.
House Redoran. House Redoran! May your sword never lose its edge.
Hello? Is someone out there? I seem to have locked myself in. Who's out there? Oh, no, never mind. I don't care. I just want to get out of here. It's dark and it's cramped and it smells like an Argonian's armpit. I recognize that voice. I knew you'd come and find me. As for my current predicament, how was I supposed to know it was a trap? The door slammed shut and locked behind me. So, do a dark elf a favor and open the door like a good apprentice? Please? There's probably a button or something nearby. In my experience, there's always something pushable. I remember seeing Daedric symbols on plates along the wall. Try pushing a button that's divisible by 3. 3 has always been lucky for me. Now your 3rd panel, or maybe the 8th panel. Any of the panels in a position that's divisible by 3. Something just shocked me. Another obstacle overcome by the great Narcissus Dren. I find that escaping from an ancient trap really gets the heart pumping, provided it doesn't take too long, of course. I couldn't have done it without your relatively minor contribution. Thank you. Indeed, Veloth Tomb. Now we need to locate the hidden passages mentioned in the scroll, and the relics of Saint Veloth will be mine! To write about in my next book, of course. Stick close, apprentice. These tombs can be dangerous to the unwary. I could tell you, but I work on an instinctual level. I know relics of historic value when I see them. Apprentice, you lead the way. I expect that locked door was the worst this tomb has in store for us. It's smooth sailing from here, I'm certain. Ah, yes. The old scroll. It did mention hidden passages. That's what attracted me in the first place. So I'll look for relics in hidden passages, while you keep an eye out for any unexpected dangers. See? We make a great team, apprentice. Saint Veloth? Perhaps. It's more likely he's buried in his shrine in Deshan. This is the family tomb. Did I tell you my mother traces her lineage to this noble line? Whatever we're going to find, it won't happen if we keep standing here. So... one of them. And it's one of the larger and more significant ones, too. You should visit the place if you're ever in that part of the world. Now, I'd really like to get on with the exploring, if you don't mind. Ooh, this might be Veloth's long sought-after right pauldron. Ooh, remarkable hanging. Early Second Era, perhaps? Ah, the main chamber must be down these stairs. Now this is a burial chamber. We just need to find the entrance to the hidden passages. According to the old scroll, there's a secret entrance that leads to the hidden passages somewhere in this chamber. I don't see any obvious lever or switch. That's too bad. Examine anything that looks unusual. That harp, for instance. That's an odd accoutrement for a burial chamber. I also spot an old tome strategically placed for our reference. Interesting. I need to supervise. You are my apprentice, after all. Now get down there and find the hidden passage. Only the richest, most well-to-do families could afford to hide their true resting places so that no one could disturb or defile them. Imagine. Historical research isn't defilement. It's enriching the knowledge of future generations. My calling is noble and above reproach. It says so in my very first book. Now go find that entrance. I doubt there's anything related to St. Veloth in this chamber. Still, the inscription on that pedestal might reveal something. Do give it a look, apprentice. Perhaps that dusty old tome will suggest suitable offerings. Dust makes me sneeze, so you should take a look. The brazier ignited. That's a good sign. You're a natural, although I suppose my mentoring has honed your talent. Happy to see the ancestors aren't materializing. I find ghosts to be rather boorish. Oh, well done. Perhaps I should charge for my tutelage. We did it! On to the Undertomb, apprentice! There's treasure nearby. I can practically smell it. Isn't it exciting? We're the first living creatures to set foot down here in more than 100 years. This will definitely get an entire chapter in my next book. And that surprises you. Haven't you read my books? This is very similar to that time I unearthed the secret chambers of the Master Thief of Elsewhere. A pity my apprentice on that excursion refused to heed my advice. Walked right into a nasty trap. We search. You lead the way, while I watch for the telltale signs of a valuable item of historic significance. Hopefully even a relic of St. Veloth himself. Ooh, this is the part where our adventure gets really exciting. Oh, that's a skill I developed. Finally honed in the heat of battle, both metaphorical and physical. So lead on, my erstwhile apprentice, and do watch for any guardians or traps that might be waiting in hiding. Going first? That's an honor I wouldn't dream of denying you. And I'll be right behind you, offering advice and watching for opportunities to teach valuable lessons. You won't get this kind of an education at any university or academy. Something along those lines, but he was too eager, running ahead before I could offer him the advantage of my experience. You don't seem to have that quirk. In fact, quite the opposite. It seems like you want to stand here and talk forever. Nothing important in there. An ornate coffer. I'll take a look while you deal with any other issues that may arise. Keep your eyes peeled for traps, apprentice. I'm sure you can handle this. Well, that's not something you see every day. Great opportunity for you to impress me, though. I believe I see the treasure vault on the other side of this chamber. Away, foul creatures! The bracelet of Indrel Veloth, I'm sure of it! Ah, damn these trap spaces and their tempting gaps. I hate to be a bother, but could you get me out of here, please? So good of you to notice. I'm quite proud of my ability to turn any situation into a dramatic scene for my next book. Anyway, I believe you'll find another series of wall plates to push in the chamber to my right. That's a rather ungrateful attitude, after I graciously agreed to take you under my wing. If you don't let me out, however, we won't be able to use the key I found in here. I'm quite certain it opens the way into the next section of the tomb. Almost certainly. The scroll clearly described a final treasure vault, and we haven't come across anything like that yet. So, do a dark elf a favor and go push a wall plate. It's the second one from the left. Or is it the right? No! What are you doing out there? I found a jeweled glove and a sturdy key. Let's see if it opens the way into the next section of the tomb. Ah, sweet freedom! Onward! If you deal with this, I wouldn't want to deny you a chance to demonstrate your impressive combat prowess. Hmm? Ah, so many spirits. Why they prefer tombs like this is beyond me. Tiles set in the floor. I've seen this before. Panels on the walls. Do you see any differences? I suppose the order is important, but a few of the panels have fallen into disrepair. Think of the stone tiles set into the floor as a giant locking mechanism. We just need to determine the proper combination to open the way forward. Of course. But no two puzzles are ever exactly the same. The scroll described a proper path to ancient honors. Or was it to honor the ancients? No matter. Close enough. We just need to determine the correct order. That's where the conundrum comes in. Check the panel. That's it. Just step in the proper order and the way will be opened. Did you see that flash of gold? A blessing from St. Veloth for sure. Come to Narcissus, you beautiful golden head, you. And look, another passage opens. That will lead to the treasure vault most assuredly. I'm just guessing, mind you, but I dare say that skull belonged to a son or grandson of St. Veloth. What a spectacular discovery! Nonsense! Did you see it? Emeralds for eyes, covered in gold! It's better than anything in my collection. Don't let odd sounds disturb you. I learned long ago to just hum the tune to the Red Mountain drinking song and keep moving forward. There are no people like us. We solved the puzzle and uncovered the secret. You did all the work, of course, but I had it figured out the moment we entered the chamber. I was ready to help if you needed it. Now, let's see what's waiting inside. To the ancient crypt! My next book is going to be a trilogy for sure. Well, this isn't at all what I expected. This place is ancient. These must be Veloth's earliest ancestors. I'll perform a thorough historical examination while you deal with any inconveniences that happen our way. I expected your technique to be a little more graceful than that. Look at this. Preserved bodies, not cremated ashes. A technique that predates the earliest Dark Elves. Oh dear, I don't like the look of this. I'm sure you can manage. Aim for the vital parts! They have to have vital parts! Ancient stairs! Those often lead to ancient treasures. This is disappointing. Where's all the treasure? Nothing but some broken crates and an old well. Narcissus Dren never fails like this. I blame you, apprentice. My translation was nearly perfect, so how could this be? Where are the relics? The treasure? There's nothing here but some busted old crates and a decrepit old well. No, that's impossible. Ancient scrolls lead to discovery and treasure, not disappointment. I blame you, apprentice. You obviously don't have the attitude and temperament necessary to make great discoveries. You've ruined my expedition. Isn't that a noble sentiment? But noble sentiments don't pay the bills or sell my books. You wouldn't understand. You have no sense of what it takes to do what Narcissus Dren does. You're nothing more than an apprentice. Bend the truth for dramatic effect? Unconventional. But it would be a shame to disappoint my adoring readers with a lackluster ending. You know, I like the way you think, apprentice. I can't wait to write this all down. To my camp, apprentice. This expedition might make for my most exciting tale yet. It was probably St. Veloth's mother.
Oh, Narcissus, that is wonderful news. I can't wait to read it.
That will have to wait. I must get to Vivec City. I'll leave it to you to compensate my trusty assistant.
Ah, Narcissus. Always rushing here and there. Oh, how I love him. I am glad to see he did not leave you in that dusty old tomb. You wouldn't believe how many apprentices he tends to lose along the way. Oh, yes. Before you arrived, he was telling us all about it. I am certain it's going to make for a great story. His best yet. And he was so feisty. Allow me to pay you for your service. It is the standard rate for Narcissus' apprentices.
Come see for yourself.
I meet the most interesting people during my travels, and the most attractive.
well.
What is it?
You there, adventurer! If you've come to plunder these ruins, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. One of my competitors has really made a mess of things. We suffered a major setback at the hands of artisan Lenarman, a grave robber of exceptionally low breeding. He's looking for an artifact, you see, and thought he could use us to find it. I managed to escape, but left my Dwemer control rod behind. The Heart of Lorcan, as if it even exists. The irony is that this ruin really does contain an item of power, a Dwemer relic called a Bathark Prism. If you help me rescue my aides, retrieve my rod, and obtain this prism, I'd happily compensate you. With the exception of capable bodyguards like Vimy Lacroix, finding competent assistance has proven difficult. Unfortunately, she and I were separated during our escape. I suggest you begin searching for Vimy at our camp inside the ruins. That's an excellent question. Scholarship on the subject leaves much to be desired. One of my less daring contemporaries believes it might function as a kind of codex, translating tonal patterns into legible script. Difficult to say. A tonal codex sounds almost too good to be true. But I don't have the luxury of dismissing such rumors out of hand, particularly when a scoundrel like Lenarman takes interest. Because he's an incompetent fraud. The fool couldn't find dirt if he fell off a horse. He needs an experienced scholar to guide him through the ruin. You see, Lenarman believes this might be the final resting place of the Heart of Lorcan. Not familiar with the myth? Priests will tell you that the god Lorcan tricked various divine forces into creating the world. This upset the natural order of things, and so his fellow gods yanked his heart out as punishment. Don't be ridiculous. The Heart of Lorcan is a work of pure fantasy. Unless you believe it plausible that Auriel attached Lorcan's talking heart to an arrow and shot it across the sea. We'll find no ancient god hearts here. Sorry to disappoint.
Easy does it. You're safe now. You're not one of Lenarman's thugs, are you? No, you look too smart for that. Full disclosure, this place is crawling with mercenaries and automata. I wouldn't linger if I were you. Unless you're the adventurous type, of course. Naramo wants you to snatch his stupid control rod back from that oaf Lenarman, right? Well, we've got bigger problems. I rescued this lot from Lenarman's mercenaries, but they still have our dig leader Kasuda and 2 others. Well, if you're feeling spry, you could try to track down some information about this Bethark prism Naramo keeps yammering about. I was ready to cut and run, but with your help, we might still be able to turn a profit on this disaster. We're really doing this, huh? I hope Kasudo and the others appreciate the effort. Lotail will get this lot back to the surface. Naramo and I will be right behind you. Like I said before, Naramo hired Kasuda to lead the dig. She's tough as they come, organized too. She made my job a lot easier, I can tell you that. Most of the time I have to whip the party into shape every now and again. Not with Kasuda. Right, Tholador and Tyrnia. Tholador's a sharp-eyed wood elf. We brought him on to look for traps. Tyrnia's a sellsword like Loda-eel. Unfortunately, they're both mouthy as aelets. I hope they haven't made Lenarman mad enough to kill them. Yeah. Nachuliftink's chock full of dark corners and hidden perches. We made it about halfway through the ruin, then Lenarman's goons came down on us like a sack full of hammers. I got Naramo out, but he lost his rod during the scuffle. I did. Pulling Duran and Berain out wasn't too hard, but Loda-eel was anxious to dole out some justice along the way. Ended up stabbing and hacking our way out. We really stirred up the hornet's nest. Now Lenarman's thugs are on high alert.
Oh, Vimy. I see you're still alive. Excellent.
What are you doing in here? Didn't I just get you out?
I will not have Lenarman stealing my prize. With our friend here, I have nothing to fear.
All this optimism. Wow. No offense, friend.
I know secret paths through the ruins. We will shadow our intrepid assistant and help as opportunities present themselves.
Oh, you're a lifesaver. Literally. Watch for steam vents up ahead. They always hiss before they fire. Well, good luck. I'm getting out of here.
Whoever you are, thank you. Lenarman went deeper into the ruin. You can catch him if you hurry. I have to get back to the expedition. Don't go easy on these brutes, all right?
breaches. I was beginning to lose hope. Lenarman's ahead, still struggling with Naramo's control rod. I think I can make it back on my own. Be careful down here, friend.
I wouldn't touch that if I were you. One moment. One down. And the other. All yours. Let's hope that rod still works, because otherwise, this will get really tedious.
Fine work retrieving the device. Good help is so hard to find. No offense, Vimy. Now, the control rod, if you please. Wonderful. Now, we simply tighten the capacitor, reset the tonal frequency, and... Oh. Lenormand somehow managed to crack the resonator crystal. That, of course, led to a catastrophic misalignment of the tonal assembly. In other words, this rod is useless. I've never seen one of my tools so thoroughly ruined. I'm almost impressed. No, but it's not a total loss. With the rod broken, Lenormand cannot turn any more of the automata against us. That may hamper his progress as well. Small victories, yes? We're close. I know it. We must keep moving forward. Vimy, to battle!
Stay behind me, you idiot!